But as I'm standing up here, I'm 16 years old, I'm a junior in high school, I'm receiving my Eagle Scout Award. And then my gaze shifts back to my parents. And I think about my dad, and I think, here's this entrepreneur, his business is really growing right now. He's got an accounting firm, and, they're just rapidly growing. He's really invested in the business right now. But he's still made time to show up for my scouting events and for my sporting events and to be there for me. I've got my mom, who's a former special ed teacher, who chose to stay home and raise my brother and I. And then I think, if they only knew how broken I felt inside, if they only knew how empty I felt inside, if they only knew that I felt like I was crawling out of my skin at any moment. And the other thing they didn't know is that at 16, I had several hundred ecstasy pills and a sawed-off shotgun in the lining of my trunk. One of the most common things that I run into when I talk to young people is they think they're the only ones struggling. They think they're the only ones with that fear or that challenge or that gnawing heartache or something that's off or wrong. They think they're the only ones. We all struggle. We all have our challenges. We all have these things that we try to avoid. And the sooner that you recognize that and realize that asking for help is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. Because as soon as I started asking for help, my life completely changed. What are those family values? What's your family mission? What are those things that make you unique? And then with that clarity, when your kids come to you with a challenge or a problem, instead of going, well, you should do this or you should do that, you start asking them questions. Questions like, what do you think you should do? How would you solve this problem? What do you think you should do in the context of our family values? As an entrepreneur, you're inherently good problem solvers. That's what you do. But so when you're really good at something, you like to show off. And when you show off and you solve all the problems for your kid, they don't learn your superpower, which is that thinking outside the box, that unique way to solve problems. So it's putting it back on the kids, right? It's empowering the kids to start making those decisions and to start thinking differently.